All right, so here we are. Google Cloud joins forces with EOS. Okay, this is October 6th, 2020. EOS blockchain created by Block One utilizes a unique semi-decentralization feature. So it's semi-decentralized. Okay, so for those of you who have been living under a rock, Bitcoin was the first and is always the most referenced back to the original concept of idea. It is the most protected. It is the one that is the biggest cyber secure network that pulsates. So imagine encryption, cyber secure network that doesn't always go up, but every 10 minutes. Instead, it has a heartbeat and it boom, pumps encryption, it's hashing algorithms. That's how I see it. Or it's an algorithm that's hashing all these things together to find a specific size block and make all the transactions fit. EOS is like layer 3, maybe layer 2 solution. So base layer, then you have another thing where you can start building operating systems and things on top of, or at least to plug into, and then the GUI interface or wallet or whatever is gonna, that's what they're gonna build and make a GUI onto. EOS blockchain, blah, 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 blah. So the way the EOS network works is basically what I'm about to go over here. There's 21 block producers, and mind you, Ethereum just started, they're transitioning into staking. Their beacon chain is out for Ethereum 2.0, ETH 2.0. It's gonna be like 160 times faster. They're gonna be using either ZK rollups, which is one protocol I believe with Matic, and right now kind of what people are using is another protocol. I think it's XDAI for side chaining, which has a great feature because Uniswap Uniswap was it's basically a program written and published for free. Okay, so think of it like that, like a C cleaner. It's free, open source, it's freeware. I mean, the very first spyware, malware code that was written to protect against the first virus ever came across was made by John McAfee, and it was just, he wrote a little bit of lines of code because he saw that there was a bug and a lot of people were having this issue in forums. And, you know, in 24 hours, he had like 5 million downloads, and he just put it out for free. Back then, there was the market for buying everybody's data didn't exist. Nobody even knew that was a needed thing. Marketers didn't know it. And so basically what used to go on is like, you know, you download the file also has some extra stuff in it that sends back to a server some information about your PC. What you're running, how's it running, whatever, IP, locate, I mean, whatever they want it to send, it's free, you took it. So it's just a different style of internet. So anyways, that's the ETH 2.0. EOS will have 21 nodes. Each node, so Google basically just got Google Cloud, the cloud team on Google, will be joining to be a node verifier. Node verifiers are elected by EOS holders. So if you hold some EOS, basically you get to do a voting structure, a voting, let's see, you have Bitcoin, which is proof of work, concrete proof of work, can't be done better. Proof of stake, which plenty of ones have tried to come out with staking, but it's not true staking because they're just hosting on a website on the AWS cloud, you know, paying for the space, basically paying for the service to build a platform on. So cloud has a couple different structures: software as a service, platform as a service, infrastructure as a service, IaaS, PaaS. So you can purchase these things to run your website, your company, whatever you want to put on it. So the very first proof of work of Bitcoin, proof of stake, these are concepts, mind you, and there's like 3 or 4 of them. Proof of stake, which is launching Ethereum second chain. Okay, it's coming next pretty fast. And then there's proof of stake with electing, so you can actually cast votes to control people who validate the network. Basically, to validate the network, to make voting, staking works good, but to make voting work, you have to have, you know, people could just fill it with bots, and bots could be voting. So you have to have elected a small controllable amount of nodes that are elected through everybody participating with EOS token or whatever you want to. I'm not 100% positive how they do it, but I'm sure it's with the currency protocol of it all. So anyways, there are also backup block producers which can step in at any given time should any of the first 21 fail to perform. The largest block producers today are run by crypto exchanges Binance, Huobi, and OKX, as well as other data centers created by EOS community. Google is the first Silicon Valley giant to seek to become an EOS block producer. Through this new partnership, Google Cloud, the cloud team, will work with Block One. Block One is a public company. You could probably buy their stock. I think they have came out and said they have a certain amount of millions in millions of value of Bitcoin. They're probably private, but they're starting to come out. Lots of public companies. MicroStrategy purchased like almost $500 million. They're the first. Nobody wants to be first. Nobody wants to be last. Okay, so first it's going to be these private companies, which it's been these private companies. Now public companies are coming out and saying it. The teachers union of teachers pension of Ohio, Texas, maybe, is buying, holding. They're going to put 5% into gold. Maybe that's gold ETFs and paper gold, but we're going to see. Google is the first Silicon Valley giant to seek to become an EOS block producer. Through this new partnership, Google Cloud will work with Block One to enable new ways for its open source community of developers. So get this, Google Cloud's open source community of developers to engage and build applications on EOS. So Google has an incentive to meet the connection with open source developers to bring it into their, you know, their products and services for their clients, and how they get their clients the data they want and need for marketing. Google Cloud has partnered with Block One and will become a block producer candidate. Block producer candidate to provide infrastructure as a service, probably infrastructure in support of EOS network, which is built on EOS.io. So it's a machine, input output. EOS.io blockchain protocol published by Block One company published they're responsible for the source code if they published it. So Block One, Google's Cloud's highly provisionized, low latency global fiber optic network provides stability, reliability, security, and extensive global infrastructure coverage for Block One's public blockchain efforts and development. Block One subsequently published its own announcement welcoming Google Cloud to the EOS community. Block One is excited to report that Google Cloud, a global hyperscale cloud and infrastructure provider, will join the EOS community and is taking steps to become an EOS network block producer. The EOS network is built on EOS.io blockchain protocol, published by Block One. Block producers are the core component of the EOS network, attracting a block producer candidate of Google Cloud's caliber. There's nobody bigger. Nobody bigger. Marks a milestone for the network. As one of the world's leaders in technological innovation. Good Lord. If you don't know how to get a retirement nowadays, you are listening to the wrong sources. Google Cloud's planned participation underscores the importance of blockchain in the future of business, government, and society. Google's cloud will leverage the EOS network's world-class performance and vibrant open source community as it works to become a block producer. Google Cloud will continue to provide its highly provisionized low latency infrastructure to Block 1. I'm sure that Block 1, Google and the government, I mean, here's the deal. When you have something up and it is wanting to be taken down, a phone call is made to the people hosting it, which would be Google Cloud Infrastructure. Now, Google Cloud Infrastructure was clearly allowed to continue to work with EOS, both parties complying, and now it's public, so it's backed by probably 3 parties. Put it that way. Google Cloud's confidential computing infrastructure will enhance the security, scalability, and decentralization of blockchain technology. This development is of particular significance as China continues to take steps to expand its own cloud computing footprint globally through the Blockchain Services Network, BSN. This development is of particular significance as China continues to take steps to expand its own cloud computing footprint. So China's cloud computing footprint globally through the Blockchain Services Network. So I mean, China is ahead of us on this. They're developing their own private CBNDC, central bank digital coin. Yeah, it's already out. They're airdropping millions to the first adoption users, which is the same way that these open source tokens, they're literally copying hand for hand what like Uniswap had done. Not Uniswap, HoneySwap, SushiSwap. SushiSwap airdrop tokens, and everybody left Uniswap. And SushiSwap basically came in second. They copied all the code, integrated a token, and launched it and said, hey everybody, the first so many users you get a sushi token. And this sushi token came out of nowhere, and within 2 weeks grew to $1 billion, popped and deflated. So this is what you would call, you have initial coin offerings, ICOs, then you have the birth of DEXs, and now you have the birth of, or where you had initial exchange offerings, tokens like that with Binance. They revolutionized that, but this is a different thing. So this is a great article. Google Cloud joins forces with EOS Network. Peace.